Our brain has the capacity, so has the ability to surprise us when we utilize it in a manner and consistent with our interest. This morning, like every other time when I choose to go for a run, this morning was somewhat peculiar because for some reason I felt more fatigue and I was burnt out early on before even I was halfway on my run. But I remember that it is not my muscles but my mind that controls the muscles. So I changed the narrative in my conversation by empowering my muscles through my mind, by thinking that I am capable of doing that which I set forth to do. And so I went. But in doing so, I did something else. Not only that I say I can do that which I set forth to do, but I went further and kind of broke it down my running. So I would look further about 2-3 feet ahead of me. And then I will focus on that distance. And before I know, I finished that and I thought of another few feet ahead of me. And I kept going in that manner. In an essence, I broke down the 4.5 miles that I was going to run into small feet or small miles. And instead of focusing on how far I have to go, I started focusing on a small little increment that I had set forth myself. Break down the challenge into small goals. And by doing so, I found it easier, and it became easier and easier as I went along to be able to run through the end. And before I knew, my 4 miles was finished and some more. So in simple things, I didn't apply any technique outside myself. Rather, I looked to myself and apply the technique that is within myself by applying what I call the 3 I's. First, I idealize the issue in question. So I took the fatigue, understanding that that is the problem I have. I took the need to quit. I understood that was the need that I have, and I applied something different to it. I idealize it. I made an ideal out of that, which is to say that I have completed the task that is set before me. So I took that which was uncomfortable and make it comfortable in my mind. And I went further. Not only that I did that, I went further and broke down the issue in question in small increment. To do so is to introduce the matter at your mind. Because I said, look at that far how I go. Now I made it personal. I personalized the process, and therefore I was able to focus in a small increment, and I saw myself as an accomplisher. When I finished the first few miles, I was able to feel good, and I knew that I can finish the second one. I made it personal. I introduced it into my mind, and I repeated the process, which I call iterate. I repeated the process over and over, and before long, I was done with the task at hand. You can apply the same technique in your life, at your work, in any other areas of your life. Not only just in running as I've done, but you can do it in each and every area of your interest, and you can achieve the same result. Give it a try today and let me know when you get the answer, when you get the results. But before you go, subscribe, like, share, and comments are welcome. Questions we'll embrace as well. Until then, I'll be back.